What do you get when you mix AI, 3D printing, and a dad who's building video games with his 10-year-old? You get David Bates, also known as Modern Magician. David is the head of innovation at Osmo, but outside of work, he's deep in the maker world, printing characters, designing NFC business cards, teaching his kids to code through game design, and even building a wedding cake topper business using Meshy's API. But I'm getting ahead of myself. In this conversation, we talked about all of it, including why he thinks AI doesn't kill creativity, it accelerates it. Let's get right into it.
I work in AI in my day job.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I work for a company named Osmo, and I'm the head of innovation for them. And so one part of my job is going out and evaluating AI models.
Oh, wow.
And I know I tried Microsoft's AI model first, and then went over to Tripo for a while and kind of fell in love with Meshy's. I think it was V5, the textures that I was getting out of it, because my side hustle is 3D printing. You can probably see one of the printers.
I was about to say, I love that.
But so I like the detail and the texture from Meshy 5 for 3D printing, and I've been stuck with it ever since.
It was better, in your opinion, it was better than all the other 3D models software out there?
Yeah, and y'all still contained or had a competitive advantage. The only thing that I could say that Tripo beats y'all at is part segmentation. So being able to take a model of a character and then be like, okay, now split the arms off, split the legs off, split the head out.
Yeah.
With Meshy, I have to do all of that manually, where Tripo will do smart segmentation.
Interesting. I wonder if I'm pretty sure they've heard this kind of feedback before. I'm pretty sure they want to do something like that, yeah.
I've told Axie before.
I'm pretty sure.
I don't know if Axie told you, but I'm the one that did the Matt to Vert kind of thing before y'all did the 3D printing flows.
Oh, no, he didn't tell me that.
Yeah. So before y'all even had 3D printing as an option, I built up software to take y'all's output and turn it into colored models in the software in Bamboo Studio. And then it wasn't long after that, like 3 or 4 months, y'all were right behind me with, okay, here's a 3D full color 3D pipeline.
Do you make videos for 3D printing?
I do. Yeah. I've got a TikTok with 1,500 people.
Nice.
Used to have a pretty good Instagram, and my Twitter's like 20 some K. TikTok's my primary platform now. TikTok and Discord.
Yeah. Do you have your own server?
I go off of another guy's server, okay. Asylum. That's my primary one. And it's just basically because he basically lets me run it. And he already had a pretty big community.
Nice. It's just 3D printing strictly in there?
It's Maker. So it's
Maker. That's software, right?
It's 3D printing, crafting, laser cutting, just people trying to make stuff.
Yeah. Creative.
So it's a mix of electronics and software and manufacturing at home.
So I know you had a couple of great projects. I saw what you were working on, the stuff you sent me. I'm fascinated with the little game that you said you were working on with your son, I think. I really like that, especially since it piqued my interest because I know the Backrooms movie is coming out here. I think it's out today. And I love FNAF as well. I've always liked it. So then when I saw your model that you had that was like walking, that he was like rigged to walk, and I was like, dude, it's like in a style that I personally enjoy in like video games and stuff like that. It kind of looks pixelated. I know it's not pixelated, but it kind of has like that pixel vibe, and like it just looks cool. Do you want to tell me a little bit more about that?
Sure. Yeah, my son's 10, and with each of my kids, I have 4 kids. We went through a gaming kind of phase to introduce them to software development and logic and breaking down, because when kids want to build something with software, the first thing they go to is games, because they're like, of course I want to build games. And with all of my other kids, it was super hard to get them into it because they either had to use Scratch, which didn't have the fidelity to build the games they wanted, or Roblox, which had a huge learning curve to it for them to get into, or just straight JavaScript sometimes trying to build games with them. And none of it really worked to get them to actually build a game. Yeah, they could build one-offs or stuff with a lot of hand-holding, but it never really worked. Then my 10-year-old, Gemini and Claude and all of those have come out and can help them over that burden where I don't have to handhold as much, and we can focus on the concepts. And so really what I want to teach is the gaming concepts, like what is a controller, what is the objects in there, what's the 3D world kind of look like. And so me and my 10-year-old sat down and we're like, okay, let's build a game. We started talking to Gemini about what kind of game he wanted, and he really likes FNAF and Backrooms. And so he was like, the first thing I want to build is a survive the night kind of game, as a security guard, just kind of surviving the night. And then as that progressed, he went on into, no, I want to actually turn this into a battle simulator that's like Backrooms, where the security guard's going through backroom style stuff and encounters these animatronics that he's got to get at. So the animatronics kind of got to jump scare them and move kind of fast. I wrote up a blog post about it, but it kind of changed the game on how I actually was teaching the kids how to do that. But yeah, the game itself right now is all 2D but 3D looking. So like when you just go to new game on night shift, it's going to put you in a security guard place where you've got a camera thing that you got to pull up and watch for the little things to come around and shut your doors and stuff, just like a regular FNAF game. But the battle mode is that combination of the Backrooms and the FNAF characters. And that one we built in 2D to start off with, but then he was like, yeah, this is okay, but it kind of sucks. I want an actual 3D. I want an armory where I can pick my weapons, more advanced things like that. So that's when we went over to Unity and started building 3D models. And of course, it's not done yet because that takes a little bit more effort. Yeah. But now that Unity has AI built into it where you can direct it, it's easier to kind of get that done. So yeah, it's easier to get a 10-year-old. I don't have to teach him C#. We can work together on the game mechanics. I can use Meshy to generate 3D models and assets that we need, bring them in already rigged, and then just tell the AI engine, okay, I've got this rigged model. It represents this. I want to put it in this place, do these things with it. Okay. Yeah, it got the back and everything good there. I didn't have to, on some of these, I'll actually take them and go into Nomad Sculpt and fix them up and stuff. But this one didn't need anything. And that's the aesthetic I want for the whole thing, is this kind of pixelated 80s, kind of, but in a modern 3D kind of controller space. And that, I don't know if you saw the battle mode on Night Shift, but that's what we were going for here. And even the music on this is generated by, I used 11 Labs to generate the music.
I didn't know 11 Labs could do music.
It's definitely a muscle, but I try to teach it to kids that if you have an idea, try to come up with ideas. And it's easy for kids because they're just spewing it out. The problem that this solved for me with the kids was once we got into the programming part of it, then their creativity switched off and they were like, I've got to learn this whole language just to be able to visualize or get something working, where now the AI is that in between of, but yeah, it's definitely a muscle. And I see it in a ton of people where it's like, if you're constantly trying to create, then it gets easier and easier to create. I'm not saying this about myself because I don't think I'm super creative, but I definitely have had to work to keep that up as I get older. I agree with you though, because I do think that AI is going to help us with our creativity portion. We're going to have more time to be able to have more creativity. And that's the thing I try to teach people, that I go out and I speak at events and I speak at schools like Virginia Tech and stuff about these topics of AI as a tool. It doesn't replace your creativity. It's going to allow you to take whatever you got in here and put it in the real world quicker. And so this was the same way in the maker space. People were like, oh, all these AI slop 3D models are coming out. And I'm like, no, it's a tool to help you realize what you're wanting quicker. If you're wanting to put out a model that is totally refined and printable across every printer, then yeah, you've got AI is only going to get you 90% there with what your vision is. And then you've got to take it to Nomad Sculpt and you got to fix it and chamfer the edges and do all of the fine tuning work that you want to do. But if you're just sitting out there and you've got an idea and you want to get a print off of your printer, make it real so you can hold it in your hand, shit, it's going to do that for you. Like, exactly. I got one sitting here that I did. It was an alien cat for Halloween.
Look at that.
And so I just had an idea of what about an alien. I do Inktober every year, but I do it with different mediums to try to learn a new process. So this year was 3D prints. And so I did a 3D print every day using those prompts. And I think this day was like Alien, and I was like, oh, what about an alien cat? Did this one of like the AI adoption curve, so of course it's just crap. And then they try the tool and it's, oh my God, this thing can do everything. And so that's when AI slop gets there, is like they're just offloading their cognitive to AI to generate. But then when they start getting frustrated that it can't generate exactly what they want, and they start going back to, what if I pair this with a workflow that I'm used to, and just AI is a part of that workflow, then they start getting into the hey, I know why it sucks, but it can do this really good, so I'm using it as a tool in this place that you can add to it in order to do it. Their process is great for if you just want to take a head and stick it on a pre-made model, right? You want to have a doctor that looks like every generic doctor out there, and you're just sticking the head of the person on there. Works great for that. But where it sucks is if you're trying to do a wedding, a cake topper, and the wedding people want their cake topper to be them, the wife's wedding dress, the husband's suit that he picked out, as a 3D print to go on it. And so I'm trying to build a business around, with photographers, wedding photographers, when they do their pre-session, to send me the photo, and then I print a cake topper in full color, the bride and groom as they were. And so I'm working with Meshy's API to try to figure out what Gemini up front to generate the cartoonistic model, and then Meshy in order to generate the actual mesh and the color and the texture, and then take it over into the 3D printing final workflow that I have to print it. And I printed this for her for Mother's Day. And so it's kind of like the cake topper style of just me and her. Yeah, so that one, I may have one here on my desk. Actually, I got it on my. So these are, when you go to conferences with other makers, these are what you hand out. And where's the camera? There it is. So that's what actually gets printed.
Oh, wow.
And then on the back, it's NFC. So I can hand these out at a convention, and then people can scan it with their phone. And it's just like a business card.
And it takes you to your profile?
Yeah, but it also shows, like you said, my mastery in being able to do this type of print. And actually, this image was done in Meshy. So I made a 3D relief in y'all's new keychain maker.
Oh, yeah, I saw that they have that, yeah. Damn. That is so awesome. What kind of conventions do you take those to?
The last one was called Rocky Mountain RepRap. There it is.
That's where we're going.
So, like, this was a fully 3D printed suit of armor.
Holy shit, that's awesome.
Yeah. And then here's the Lambo that's fully 3D printed.
Damn.
Yeah. And so it's just people that do 3D prints. So, like, this guy's Fresh Prints. He has a humongous printer, I think he can do a meter by meter prints, and he was showing off some of his big stuff. This company is called 3D Glue, and they have the best adhesion of any, because it actually melts the plastic together when you put it on there.
That is awesome. David, thank you so much for your time, man. I don't want to take up any more of your time. We're coming up on that hour. Yeah. I got plenty of stuff here. If it's okay with you, is it okay if I turn this conversation into a video?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Perfect. Other than that, David, thank you so much. I really appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to chit chat with myself. And yeah, I hope you have a great rest of your day and keep on grinding.
All right, will do. And thanks for having me. Thanks for having me over and talking about it. I love talking about this stuff.
And I love learning. So that's the beauty. All right, David, you take care, buddy. You have a good one. See ya.
See you.